Hello, we are the Dev Squad, and this is our mid semester architecture defense. My name is Joshua, and I'm the product owner and scrum master for this team. That means my job here is to represent the client's interest to the team and to make sure we are always working on the right things in the right order. So our client is called, it's a company called Anything Printing, and it's a branding company which basically print anything, be it flyers, banners, merchandise, etc. So the problem we are solving for them is something which costs to their business. That's a website. So their website does not turn visitors into customers. So their website is literally currently not effective. So we are just redesigning their website. We are building a fast mobile first site whose sole purpose is to turn a visitor into a paying customer. We are doing this through three main things: a simple quote request form so customers can ask for a price, a direct WhatsApp button so customers can message their business in one tap, and a portfolio section showing the client's real works, his past works, so that the customers can trust the business. Yes.
Okay, so I am Gabriel Kinabonti and I'm the QA and validation lead for Team Dev Squad. And my role is to make sure that what we build actually works and to keep an eye on anything that could go wrong. Yeah. So we think about quality before we even write the code. So for every story in our first sprint, we've already planned out how we'll test it. So testing is not something we rush.
I am Ipan Sata, the architecture and content cell for Dev Squad. I want to explain how we built this system and why we made the choices we made. Our architecture is simple on purpose. It is a single fast static website built with HTML, Tailwind CSS, and a plain JavaScript. There's no backend server and no database behind it. The whole thing is hosted on Netlify, which sets the site quickly from the servers close to wherever the visitor is browsing from. We didn't choose this one by accident. We wrote down our reasons in something called architecture design record. So anyone can see why we made this choice later. The main reason.
Hello, I'm Giacomo Samofede. I'm the UX research lead for DevSquad. My work is to understand the people who use this website and make sure we are building the right thing for them. We look at the three main types of users. Firstly, the walk-in customers who just want to see samples and get a price. Secondly, corporate clients who want to under-branded items in large amounts for their companies. And thirdly, the customers at the anything print who receive messages from customers and need to reply quickly. Most of the people who visit these websites use Android phones and mobile data. So we had to redesign everything to a mobile first. That means we start by designing for a very small phone screen, which is 360 pixels wide, before considering tablets and laptops. Yes, this way no customer is left behind because of their device. Working closely with the client, write down a clear list of what
Amimekwe Abuahima Apia, the evidence and documents lead for Dev Squad. Everything you just heard from my teammates is not just talk, but they are all written down and traceable in our project repository. You will find our original proposal, our full requirements, our backlog of tasks, individual tasks, showing exactly where each requirement came from, and a complete log of every time we used AI in this project. Each of these lives in its own file, clearly labeled so anyone can go and check for themselves. We also track all 15 of our user stories on a project board, moving them through these 5 stages. That's the backlog, ready, in progress, review, and done. So at any moment, anyone can see what stage the project is in. Working on this project for the first half of the semester has taught us two big lessons. The first lesson is that talking to our client has changed and prioritized our work. We had assumed certain features mattered most, but once we spoke to the clients, we realized their customer care much more about the WhatsApp button than we expected. So we moved it higher to our list. The second lesson is that simplicity itself is a feature. A website that looks impressive but that the client cannot maintain on their own is not actually useful to them. A simpler system that they can understand and manage is worth far more in the long run. So you can find the link on our repository, our project board, our release tag, and this video all inside our slide deck. Thank you for listening. We are Dev Squad and we welcome questions you may have for us. Thank you once again.
Hello, I'm Adobo Emmanuel Tete, the implementation lead for Dev Squad. So let me walk you through what we actually built so far right now. Okay, so now our live protocol already covers the main journey a customer will take on the site. So it starts with a hero section at the top of the page, which has an animated headline and a clear call to action button to grab the visitor's attention. And now below that is a section describing our client services. Then comes the portfolio, which is a grid of the client's past work organized into categories, and visitors can filter it and click on any image to see it larger in a lightbox. So we also built a mobile hamburger menu, since most of our users are on phones, and a WhatsApp button that stays visible no matter where the visitor scrolls on the page. And now the most important feature we built is the request form. That's the code request form, sorry. So it works in three simple steps. First, the customer enters their own details like their name and a phone number. Secondly, they choose the type of service they need and describe what they want. So thirdly, they also get the chance to review everything before they send it to um, before they send it, right? So they can fix any mistakes. That's after reviewing it. So as they fill in the form, they check their answers as they type, and if they miss something, we tell them exactly their field needs attention instead of showing a general error. So in terms of progress, our first sprint covers 19 story points out of a total backlog of 38 story points. Every single task is tracked as an issue on GitHub with a clear owner and a clear description of what counts as finished. One thing that is not done yet is the email relay, which will actually deliver these code requests in the client inbox. So what is planned for our second sprint? Once the client confirms which email address to send it to, we built the form so that when it is ready, we can simply connect it without having to rebuild it. Thank you very much.
I am Daniela Calavo, the DevOps and Release Lead for Dev Squad. My part covers how our project is organized behind the scenes and how we get our code from a developer's laptop onto a live website safely. In our repository, we have a makefile at the root, which is just a set of instructions. Typing one simple command can set up the whole project, check the code for errors, run our tests, start the site locally, or build it for release. We also have an automated pipeline using GitHub Actions. Every time someone proposes a change through a pull request, this pipeline automatically checks the code for style problems and runs our test before a human even looks at it. When someone opens a pull request, they must follow a template. This means they have to link the GitHub issue they are solving, show proof that they tested it, include screenshots if they change anything visual, and say clearly if they use any AI tools to help write the code. We also protect our most important files. Things like the make file, the CI pipeline, and our architecture documents cannot be changed without approval from specific people on the team, and nobody can